I used to believe offices were safe places. Climate-controlled, fluorescent-lit ecosystems where ambition wore a tie and betrayal came in the form of a missed deadline. I was wrong. My name is Ethan. I work as a senior analyst in a mid-sized consulting firm in downtown Chicago. The kind of place with glass walls and quiet rivalries. The kind where promotions are announced with catered cupcakes and silent resentment. For 3 years, I worked under Rebecca, our department manager. She was sharp, observant, and calm in a way that made everyone else slightly uneasy. She had the habit of pausing before speaking, as if weighing not just words, but consequences. Then there was Marcus. Charming, articulate, and new. He transferred from our New York branch 6 months ago and managed to make allies faster than anyone I'd seen. He remembered birthdays, complimented presentations, and somehow never seemed stressed. I tried to like him. I really did. At home, things were less polished. My girlfriend Olivia had started to grow distant. She used to ask about my day with genuine curiosity. Lately, she nodded absently while scrolling through her phone. I told myself it was stress. She had her own career in marketing, her own battles. The first crack in my carefully arranged life came on a Tuesday afternoon. Rebecca called me into her office. The blinds were half drawn, slicing the room into stripes of light and shadow. She told me there would soon be a new director position, one level above her. Corporate was considering internal candidates. I had worked for this. Late nights, missed dinners, sacrificing weekends. I assumed she had called me in to hint at support. Instead, she asked me what I thought about Marcus. The question felt innocent. It wasn't. She mentioned concerns about loyalty, data discrepancies in a recent client proposal. Nothing provable, just enough to suggest that someone might be feeding information to a competitor. I left her office with a strange weight in my chest. Marcus had led that proposal. I had reviewed part of it. If something was wrong, my name was on it too. 2 days later, HR requested a meeting. They showed me printed emails, internal strategy notes forwarded to an external address. My login credentials were attached to the outgoing messages. I felt heat crawl up my neck. I had never sent those emails. I barely recognized the external contact. The timestamp coincided with the night I'd left early to have dinner with Olivia. I denied everything, calmly at first, then with rising desperation. HR said they would investigate. I walked out of the building under a sky that felt lower than usual. My access badge stopped working the next morning. Suspended, pending review. At home, Olivia wasn't surprised. That was the first thing that unsettled me. She looked prepared. She admitted she'd run into Marcus weeks ago at a networking event. They had talked. A lot. He'd mentioned how competitive my department was, how fragile reputations could be. She insisted nothing inappropriate had happened, but she knew more about the internal politics of my office than she should have. The room seemed to tilt. Marcus had met Olivia, separately, without telling me. Later that night, while Olivia showered, her phone buzzed on the kitchen counter. A message preview lit up the screen. "Don't worry, it's almost done." From Marcus. The world shrank to that single sentence. Instead, I did something I'm not proud of. I went through her phone. Messages stretched back a month. Marcus confiding about opportunities. Olivia venting about my emotional distance. Subtle encouragements, strategic suggestions. It wasn't romantic in the traditional sense. It was aligned. They believed I was too cautious, too moral, that I wouldn't fight hard enough for the director role. Marcus had used Olivia as a mirror, reflecting my insecurities back at me. The second revelation came through Rebecca. She called me 3 days into my suspension. Her voice was quieter than usual. The IT department had traced the email breach more carefully. My login had been accessed remotely, from inside the office network, at a time when I was documented as having left the building. Security footage showed Marcus at my desk that evening. He had claimed he needed to print something urgently. Rebecca confessed something else. She had suspected Marcus from the beginning. That was why she'd asked me about him. She'd wanted to see whether I would instinctively defend him or hesitate. She was measuring loyalty, not his, but mine. She had also leaked a false strategy document to a limited group, Marcus and me. That document was the one sent to the competitor. He had taken the bait. HR reinstated me within a week. Marcus resigned before formal termination could stain his record. I thought that would be the end of it. Justice served, balance restored. It wasn't. When I returned to the office, Rebecca announced that the director position had been filled. By her. Corporate had eliminated the middle layer entirely. The promotion I had envisioned no longer existed. She thanked me publicly for my integrity under pressure. Applause followed. Hollow, polite applause. After the meeting, she pulled me aside. She said she admired how I handled the investigation, that she saw leadership potential in me. But she also said something else. In this industry, perception matters as much as truth. I had been vulnerable because someone close to me had access to my doubts. She wasn't wrong. At home, I ended things with Olivia. Not dramatically, not with shouting. Just a quiet recognition that trust, once fractured, doesn't return to its original shape. Weeks passed. I focused on work, rebuilding my reputation. Rebecca began including me in higher-level discussions. I realized she had maneuvered the entire situation carefully, testing Marcus, testing me, positioning herself. And then came the final revelation. While preparing quarterly reports, I noticed something subtle in the access logs. The first unauthorized login to my account, before Marcus's confirmed intrusion, had originated from Rebecca's credentials. It lasted only 2 minutes, just long enough to disable a notification setting that would have alerted me to unusual activity. I stared at the screen for a long time. She had set the stage. She had needed a clean, undeniable case against Marcus. She had needed a loyal subordinate who would withstand pressure without collapsing or retaliating publicly. She had orchestrated a scenario where both of us revealed who we truly were. Marcus fell for ambition. I fell for trust. And Rebecca rose. Maybe I was afraid. Maybe I was impressed. Instead, I learned. I changed my passwords. I stopped discussing work insecurities at home. I observed more, spoke less. I began understanding that offices are not just places of productivity. They are arenas of human nature. Ambition, desire, fear, loyalty, betrayal. In the end, I kept my job. I gained clarity. I lost illusions. The moral? In professional and personal relationships alike, trust is powerful, but blind trust is dangerous. Ambition without integrity destroys you, but integrity without awareness leaves you exposed. The strongest position is not at the top of the ladder. It's in understanding the game being played beneath it.